Well, we're about to get the game underway, so very quickly through that team lineup again. Hardacre at full-back, this is Leeds. Briscoe, Watkins, Boone and Hall. Sinfield, Maguire, Luthawai, Burrow, Peacock, Ablett, Delaney and Clarkson. We're underway. The kick downfield, it's going to be taken in the very first instance on that left-hand side, and it is Gene Ormsby who gets his very first touch. We're not going to miss him tonight, only Gene Ormsby, because he's got a little kind of a, what is it called, a little bob on the back of his head.
He's got a little crotchy, hasn't he? He's got a nice tight but up ponytail.
Well, I was going to say ponytail, but I thought that was a little dismissive of that particular hairstyle. Anyway, he was brave enough to take it in first man, and he's in a Warrington lineup that in forwards like this: Ratchford at fullback, Joel Monaghan, Bridge, Atkins, Ormsby, O'Brien and Myler, Hill, Hyam, Asantasi, Waterhouse, Westwood and Griggs, and on the bench England, Michael Monaghan, Evans and Curry. And it's Leeds who have the ball back now. The big kick downfield has given them possession, but inside their own half by quite a distance. Hardacre having returned it towards that 30-metre mark, and Warrington's back is up there quickly now. They'll be looking to assert themselves, because all the talk last week has been about Luke Walsh, the new St Helens scrum half, and all the damage he did, but in truth it was the St Helens pack that gave them the platform against this Warrington pack.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that Warrington's well known for as well, getting numbers into the tackle and really slowing the play the ball down. If Leeds get a fast play the ball, then they need to work extra hard to make sure they're back.
Well, it's going to that right-hand side, and Brett Delaney for Leeds, who's up to the 40-metre mark inside Leeds territory. The arm is up from the referee to say the next will be the 6th, so there's likely to be a kick. It's moved along to Danny Maguire, who takes a step inside Asantasi. It's a high kick up there. Joel Monaghan allows it to bounce, and he bounces rather wildly out of play to go out of play for a head and feed for Warrington, 10 from their own line.
Yeah, that's very strange from Joel Monaghan. He's very confident in catching the high ball, but as you can see there, the ball didn't bounce very far from him. He let that ball bounce, so that means that he wasn't confident in taking that catch.
Well, there is a bit of a breeze at the back of the stands, and we're fairly well protected, so I just wonder whether when that ball went off it caught quite a bit of a gust. I mean, you look at the linesman's flag, the touch judge's flag down there, and it seems to be fluttering quite defiantly.
I know one thing though, Tony Smith does say rather you make the effort and knock on than just let the ball bounce like that, so he wouldn't have been happy about that.
Mickey Hyam out from dummy half as Warrington trying to make progress here towards and beyond that 20-metre line. It's Hyam again who picks up and across the line. It's brought once more, this time by Simon Griggs, who's tackled well enough. Benny Westwood down the right channel will run a host of Leeds defenders, 3 of them waiting, and Mickey Hyam, who just seems to be sporting more of a ball stop these days than he ever had before. Up and away, and Asantasi drives it in beyond the halfway line. That's the 5th. So efficient set here from Warrington. How do they finish it? They finish it with a kick from Myler, who puts it downfield. Hardacre waits for the bounce and collects it 10 from his own line. It was a decent chase, but Myler chasing after, he actually missed the tackle, but there were a couple of players behind him to make sure the tackle was complete, and Leeds start from there, just about 22 from their own line. So work to do. It's an arm wrestle in these early stages, Keith Seaton.
Yeah, definitely right. Yeah, that was a good kick there from Richie Marley. He found the grass and a good chase, but he got a little bit excited and shot out of the round, and he allowed Zach Harder to make a few extra yards, which he would have been disappointed about.
Murrow from acting half, darts away, bounces again out of the arms of one Warrington defender and into the arms of 2 more. So he stopped well enough, and Sinfield puts it to that right-hand side, and Leeds making progress just at the moment, but they've gone through their tackles, so here they come on the last once more. Maguire, and it's going to be a kick from Joel Moon, who left-footed, hoisted very, very high in the air. Ryan Hall was ahead of him, but he was onside, the referee says, and when the ball is caught by Ratchford, Hall makes the tackle, and Ratchford starts there 10 from his own half.
Yeah, a little bit of variation there from the Leeds side, passing the ball out to the centre to Joel Moon to put the kick in. It was a really good kick, just a little bit too not high enough though, but a great take there from Ratchford.
Warrington looking to make progress down the middle at the moment, but their meterage is measured by that Leeds defence. Here's Griggs, who's going to have a bit of a go. Hyam again, Ratchford just to his left, but he's going to go to Hill to his right, the prop forward, who's pushing hard. And I'm sure that the man on the bench tonight, Anthony England, who when he comes on will be making his debut, will be looking at Chris Hill and thinking the impact he's made in the 2 years he's been at Warrington and in Super League since moving up from the Championship is something that he, Anthony England, might also be able to do, because he signed from Featherstone in the off-season. He's a big lad. He's really, really good attitude as well, really good personality, Anthony England. I'm sure a lot of people are wishing him well. Leeds in possession. Still 20 metres inside their own half at the moment. Delaney takes it on a stride or 2. where it's going to be tackled. But the ball's gone to ground. Yes, it has. In amongst the tangle of defenders. The referee has seen that. It was Clarkson actually who took it in and lost it. And it was a clean loss of the ball, according to the official. It wasn't a steal. It's a knock-on. It's Warrington's head and feet.
Yeah, that was the first error of the game. Been a little bit like a game of chess at the moment. Both teams not really being very expansive. Very basic play from both, but that's a very loose error from Chris Clarkson there. And he's put Warrington straight away in a good attacking position.
And Hull have taken an early lead at St Helens. Mickey Payer has scored the try, so they lead 4-0. Remember tonight, emotional night at Langtree Park, because the bridge that joins Langtree Park to the rest of St Helens has been renamed the Steve Prescott Bridge tonight, and they're playing for the Steve Prescott Cup. Hull at St Helens. Those two clubs, of course, the most famous clubs that Steve Prescott played for, though Wakefield will lay a claim to him as well, of course. Warrington, in the meantime, have a penalty here. Roy Asatati will take it forward, dancing steps from him, and they're less than 20 metres away here, Warrington, so it's a very good position they find themselves in. Hill just barging it forward, running at the Leeds defenders, has made decent ground. Hine wants the ball played quickly. There's only a couple of tackles gone. Myler with a short pass. It goes to ground. He's picked up on that left-hand side by the debutant Ormsby, but he lost an awful lot of the advantage he might have had because he had to go to ground to pick it up, and the defenders were swarming around him. Here comes Griggs, trying to puncture a hole in the Leeds line. Unsuccessful. Hyam again. This is Myler. Myler back behind the line. It's thrown, and again the Leeds defence is well organised, so no way through. Asatasi is the man who's up there to play the ball here, and Asatasi throws it out to Myler. Myler, well, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, Richie Myler. He seems to be throwing a dummy and lost the ball in doing that, and Leeds have got possession back again.
Yeah, not very good play there from Richie Myler, but at the end of the day, it's not a very bad position to turn the ball over. It was 2 metres from the Leeds line. Now Leeds are having to do the hard yards to get out of their 20-metre. Third tackle in, and they're still not out there.
Ben Crooks has missed the goal, by the way. That's a horror show that might come back to haunt Hull. Of course, remember last week they missed all 6 conversions in the second half. Not just Ben Crooks. Someone else took over as well, didn't they? Never know. Ben Crooks took over from Joe Westerman. Westerman missed a hatful, and Crooks missed a hatful, and it very nearly cost them the game against Catalan. They just about got away with it. Oh, there's a kick from Simpson, which is hit a Warrington player, and the referee says play on as Warrington reclaimed the ball. It hit the man rather than the man playing the ball, so Warrington again. A little bit of loose play from Leeds, and Warrington have been given an excellent position here as Hill shuffles forward again. 7.5 minutes gone. Hyam again, looks to the right-hand side. Westwood with a step now, trying to just fresh air his way past a couple of defenders, but they recover their poise well enough to make the tackle. Hyam throws it left. This is O'Brien. O'Brien on again. Myler with a short pass. Leeds are ready. Tackle's good enough on Griggs. 10 metres away again. O'Brien up from dummy half once more. Myler up to that left-hand side. There's an opportunity here maybe for Atkins, but he's going to be held up. Referee has a look. Then Taylor. Yep, he held up. Arm in the air. 6 tackles, so Atkins will play it. It's the winger Ormsby who's behind there. The little kick to the in-goal area. There's a chase on here. Oh, it was a knock-on. Might have been an offside here. Oh, you can't be offside in your in-goal area. Quick correction. Anyway, the Leeds players kicked it out of play behind the net ball line, and it will be a dropout underneath the stick. St Helens have got a try. Rugby scored it. St Helens 4 Hull 4 in that other game. Keep seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely superb kick there from, I think it was Myler. Nicely into the in-goal. Very, very bobbling about there for Zakardis to try and take in and created a knock-on. So another set of 6 to Warrington, and again, piling the pressure on the Leeds side.
Sinfield with a kick, the dropout from underneath the sticks. It's taken by Joel Monaghan. He'll run it back at power towards that Leeds line. It's, as Keith says, a second consecutive effort here from Warrington, and Leeds are just under the caution. You can tell that from the atmosphere around the ground. It's far from celebratory at the moment. It's rather subdued because Warrington are having all the early pressure. Here comes O'Brien again, dummying to his left, skipping forward. Hyam picks up sharply again. He tries to duck under the advancing Leeds defenders. He's not going to get under there. First man there was Delaney to make the tackle. A couple more get there as well. Hyam plays it. O'Brien this time has moved into acting half. It's Myler who steps off the left foot, throws it back to O'Brien. O'Brien's running left and brings it back to the centre again. It's Ratchford who's caught it, but he's caught in possession. Ablett's in there to wrap him up. Here comes the last tackle again. So it's a kick from Myler towards the corner. How do Leeds deal with this? Not very well. Monaghan's gone up there and got it. Joel Monaghan, he does that so well. It seems almost week in, week out he does that, and he scored the try for Warrington, and they lead by 4 points to 0.
Absolute pin perfect kick there to the corner for Monaghan to right. That's a battle of the catching competition between Ryan Hall and Monaghan tonight, because they can both do it exceptionally well. Joel Monaghan got the better of Ryan Hall there, and that's 1-0 to Joel Monaghan. Superb catch and a great try for Warrington. Added the pressure, all the pressure started to tell them they've come away with 4 points.
Well, they won't be getting excited, Warrington, because, so we're just watching it on the replay again. Joel Monaghan did very well to keep a hold of that, because he went up and he kind of tipped it forward, and then he was juggling it on the way down, wasn't it? And just about regathered it to score the try.
Yeah, that's a bad defensive play there from Ryan Hall. Just stayed flat-footed, didn't even get off the ground. Joel Monaghan rising like a salmon there, I would like to say. Absolutely superb take from the Australian.
Luke Walsh has kicked the goal at St Helens, by the way. St Helens 6, Hull 4. And here Stephen Ratchford is hoping to kick the goal for Warrington. I was down in the tunnel beforehand. I talked to Brian McDermott, and without being indiscreet, there was a bit of a discussion going on by several characters down there, because the ball they're using tonight, apparently neither club has had this shape of ball to play with before. They seem to have introduced a new ball for this game tonight. And what was the discussion that was taking place was basically saying that it is a slightly different shape. There's a slightly different grip to it as well, and it's very difficult for teams to go out and suddenly play with it. I mean, look, here comes Ratchford with a kick, by the way, and he's kicked that very well, kicked that superbly well, and 6 points to 0, Warrington lead.
It's a little bit of a strange one, though, isn't it? I can understand the point of view, like Kevin Sinfield of the Warrington players. They've not had time to practice with a kick, but at the end of the day, both teams are coming out and playing with a new ball. It's not like one of the players, one of the teams has had extra practice with it. So you can understand a little bit, but it's been a little bit pathetic there, isn't it, so to speak?
So here come Warrington, charging forward again. Hill up towards the 20-metre mark. He's tackled. Warrington leading 6-0, but as we mentioned before, not getting too excited because they led early against St Helens, of course, and then the wheels rather came off, and they've had all the possession here in the early stages. Leeds have really got to get their hands on their ball in this the early part of the match. Very nearly 12 minutes played. So we know there's an awful lot of game time to go. Waterhouse is tackled for Warrington on the halfway line. It's moved back towards the middle again. Atkins trying to push his way forward, but he's held up and pushed back. Hyam stands and waits. He's going to highly play the ball. It might almost have been a knock-on. Either of the 6 seconds going to try and run it because he saw a gap, and it's Hill, the prop forward, who kicks the touch, and the ball bounces off his foot and is out of play on this near side. I'm not sure he was expecting that.
Even Chris Briggs saw the humour and not just looking on the screen there. He had a sly little grin on his face, because I think it was a little bit of a 50 people there. I don't think he quite went in the direction that he wanted, but ended up going into touch, but still in a great position for Warrington.
Yep, they're set inside the Leeds 20, and Leeds get the head and feed with Maguire to put it in here, and Burrow picks it up off the back of that scrum, and Ryan Hall is the first man to take it and run it forward at Warrington line and get tackled short of the 20-metre mark still, as it's moved out wide again, and Cameron Watkins with a terrific one, sliding through, and then takes on the full-back Ratchford, but Ratchford has got his measure and makes a diving challenge and a tackle, and Watkins is held up there, but we're just seeing the class and quality of Cameron Watkins again. Here comes Ablett stepping on the inside, and all of a sudden, from a position of defence, with 1 moment of absolute magic from Watkins, Leeds find themselves at the other end of the field. Here's Peacock now. Doesn't quite possess the dazzling footwork of his young teammate out wide, but he still has all the urgency of all his game that he's had over the years. Maguire to his right-hand side. Hardacre now to Watkins again, and Watkins again with a step. He's going to be a nightmare, isn't he, for defenders this season. Picks himself up on the 5th, rolls it back, 15 metres out. High kick towards his near side. Ryan Hall's trying to get after that. He passes off Joel Monaghan into the in-goal area, and a little bit of panic amongst the Warrington defenders, and eventually Monaghan, when he bounces on the ground, he's back to bash it out of play, and a drop out underneath the sticks.
The absolute great break there from Cameron Watkins. That's the type of thing that kick can do. It's been all Warrington for the last 5 minutes, out to nothing. Some nice feet, some great pace. Could have used Tom Briscoe on the outside, but decided to go himself, and then Leeds get a great kick in. Joel Monaghan fluffed it a little bit there, so now it's Leeds' turn to try and pile some pressure onto the Warrington defence.
And you look at the way John Keir made this point last night when we were doing the Wakefield Bradford game, we were looking ahead to this game. You look at who is not playing. I mean, Jamie Jones Buchanan. I don't mean Jamie Jones Buchanan. I mean Ben Jones Bishop is not playing tonight. So you know, the other Jamie Jones Buchanan. No, there is Jamie Jones, as it happens. But we're talking more about that back line. You know, they've got an awful lot of class this Leeds team, haven't they? But can the forwards carry on doing what they've done over the years? There's Jamie Peacock barging it forward. Clearly Lulai just offering himself, but Burrow runs past him, and Maguire tries to force the pass, and he bounces off Delaney, and it's going to be picked up by Warrington. Ratchford has it, and here comes Joel Monaghan, but he's only on the 20-metre mark, can't find a way through. Joel Moon, Joel on Joel, as the tackle is made, and it's Moon of Leeds who gets the win in defence and puts him down, and Warrington up onto tackle 3 now, just beyond that 20-metre mark. Back it goes again. This is the young winger, Gene Ormsby. He's in the middle. He's running like a second-row forward there, wasn't he, as he came in? He is a big fella. We heard from Tony Smith beforehand saying he's a big fella who's deserved his chance. Well, he's certainly not lacking confidence so far tonight. He's played as though this is his stage, hasn't he?
It looks like a little version of Vinocola.
Well, not that much smaller. Now it's moved to that left-hand side again. Here's Atkins caught in possession before he can shuffle the ball out to Ormsby once more. 15 minutes played in this first half. Myler puts a big boot on it. It might be too big. Ryan Hall is almost back on his own goal line when he catches it. The Warrington chase is back on the 20-metre line, so there wasn't much pressure on him. Just that of the flight of the ball, but he's caught it well enough and run it back to almost the 20-metre line. And he gets the penalty there because there's a little bit too much messing and mauling going on from Chris Bridge in the tackle, so a penalty for Leeds that will relieve the pressure.
Yeah, definitely a natural lever there. Penalty in their own 20, so Kevin Sinfield put a nice deep kick here and put them into a good field position for some good advantage.
There it goes, out of play. And nearly hit someone in the crowd. Oohs and ahs. It's like a golfer driving off and miscuing it and hitting somebody watching on in the gallery. Well, Kevin Sinfield meant to put it there, but not necessarily on that particular spectator's box. Anyway, Leeds back in possession. 2 tackles gone. Up on the halfway line. This is Burrow. It's Sinfield who runs on. Now Hardacre just puts a little dummy on. Ryan Bailey's on the field. Everybody's favourite pantomime villain. Leeds fans and away fans. They all love it when he's on the field. It gives them something to shout about, doesn't it? Either good things or bad things. But he's on the field in his testimonial year this year, of course, Ryan Bailey, eating scorpions at one of his testimonial events, wasn't he, I noticed. Here comes Delaney, running forward. The Bush took a challenge that was put on for him by one of those double-barreled fellas.
Jamie Jones
Buchanan, that's the one. Here he comes. Oh, Joel Moon, high pass to him, and he's still fit, and he's not looking at the referee, hoping that the ref thinks he went backwards, but the ref said no, it went forward. So it is handover, because it was a 6th tackle. And Warrington get it back again, 30 metres from their own line. The machine is not oiled well enough from Leeds so far.
No, a little bit drastic there from Leeds. They lost a little bit of structure. Danny Maguire there just trying to pass the ball out to Joel Moon. We're hoping him that he could create some magic, but ended up knocking on the ball. So, you know, they've lost the way a little bit. They've lost that driving forward runs and a little bit of structure.
Mickey Hyam offering it to Hill, and Hill goes clattering forward. 6-0 Warrington lead here, 17 minutes of the first half played. Hyam again to the left-hand side. It's on by Simon Griggs. There's going to be tackled. Mickey Hyam slaps him on the backside to tell him to play it. O'Brien throws it to the right-hand side. Westwood just carries it in strongly. Redoubtable character, Benny Westwood. He's a real funny bloke to speak to, isn't he? And Ratchford with a kick to the Ingle area. He's overcut that, it rolls out of play, and it'll be a tap back on the 20.
Well, that's a terrible kick there from Ratchford. Went down the short side, only 20 metres out from the Leeds try line, and ended up just kicking the ball dead, so he will not have been happy with that. A little bit of relief again for the Leeds side.
You'd have been an international teammate of Ben Westwood, wouldn't you?
I would, yes.
But you wouldn't have spoken to him, because it wasn't in your day. All the Leeds players spoke to each other, and the same players spoke to the Warrington players spoke to you. You never got on,
It was never that bad. That's all press talking yet again.
Here it is, up to the halfway line. Burrow picking up from acting half and scampering inside Warrington territory by 10 strides or so, and Sinfield instantly is waiting behind him for that play the ball when it comes. Ablett now just offering that left shoulder as he thuds in to 3 Warrington defenders waiting for him, and Leeds are making progress here, but they've gone through 5 tackles to get 30 yards away from the Warrington line. So Sinfield's boot, and it's a jabbed little chip over the top. There's some work to do for Ormsby. I think it bounced off his chest. No, it didn't. It came off a Leeds player, because the Warrington man who took it, Atkins ahead of him, would have been offside otherwise, and Ormsby then off from dummy half will have a go. We're having a look again. It was a Leeds player. It was the right decision by the referee, having seen it on the replay. Chill United Headingley in this February summer season that we love to enjoy in rugby league. It's a real bitingly cold night again, but Warrington enjoying it for the moment, leading as they do by those 6 points to 0, with 90 minutes played. High to his left-hand side, and Hill again, who's been working hard so far, getting through the hard labour in these early stages, plundering it forward once again. Looks a little tired as he picks himself up. In fact, puts an arm in the air to say, "Can he take me off, please?" And then the kick on the 6th tackle has gone straight out of play from Gareth O'Brien. So maybe that poor kicking form just returning to haunt Warrington here, because it'll give Leeds the ball back on the 40-metre line instead of having to run it from deep inside the run.
Yeah, the Warrington kicking game's losing its way a little bit, but the Leeds attacking isn't really penetrating the Warrington defence, so it's not really that much of an issue at the moment. But obviously both teams need to start building back into this game a little bit. Good to see Stevie Ward, who's come out on the field, spent a lot of time on the injury with a bad shoulder, so it's great to get that young kid back out there.
Sinfield with a dummy and taking them on, and very nearly finding a hole as well in that defence, and now it's Rob Burrow who picks up, and Hardacre joining in, and Watkins doesn't even look at that as he puts the pass to Briscoe, puts the kick on. Hardacre's there to pick it up and score the try. Classy Leeds try, involving 3 of their real young guns: Callum Watkins, Tom Briscoe, and Zach Hardacre to finish. That will please the Headingley faithful. Leeds are on the score sheet.
Can't take anything away from the try there. Tom Briscoe, I think that might be his first involvement in the game. 20 minutes gone, it's the first time he's touched the ball. Catches the ball, very lucky, a forward pass there from Callum Watkins. You can see on the replay, there's no doubt that that's a forward pass, but you can't take away anything from the skill of Tom Briscoe. Caught the pass, round the winger defender, and then he put a nice little kick in for Zach Hardacre just to pick up and score.
Well, he was talking, Tom Briscoe, and you'll hear him on the Super League show on Monday night, of course, talking about why he's moved from Hull, and a hint that he was getting a little stale at Hull. You know, enjoyed his time at Hull, but was getting a little stale. Well, Kevin Sinfield's got the kick for goal here. He is perhaps the best goal kicker in either code. So what goes through Kevin Sinfield's head when he's having a kick at goal?
When I'm kicking well, nothing. Just try and clear out everything. Try and focus on enjoying it. You know, I really enjoy kicking. I always enjoy practicing, but for that key moment, I suppose that's my stage. It's my job. It's my thing. And to be honest, just try and clear everything. When things aren't going particularly well, your head's cluttered full of rubbish, and you don't know what you're doing.
Well, nothing must have been going through his head on that occasion, because he's kicked it very well, right between the sticks, 6 points apiece. Keith Peter, that took you by surprise there. That's what we do this year at Five Live Sports Extra. We get from the players on the pitch.
You need to warn me when you're doing things like that. Yeah, we just did
here, we would have done.
You know Gary Edmonton, he likes to get his money's worth, doesn't he? Had to live for dessert as well.
But he is a terrific kicker, isn't he, Kevin?
Oh, superb. And that's something, it's not something that's become natural to him. Practices day in, day out. That's something that's always out on the field first, practicing, and at the end of the training session in practice. So it's not a fluke that he's such a good kicker.
And he's changed his style an awful lot over this. Penalty here for Leeds, 20 metres out from their own line, so a chance to get it back towards that halfway line. He has changed his style an awful lot, hasn't he? He's like a golfer tinkering with his swing all the time.
Well, that's it. At the end of if you try and change your style too much on anything, then it can't work. It's like if you say to Michael Johnson, the 400-metre sprinter, to run how you're supposed to sprint, it wouldn't work for him. So you've got to find what works for you. You can listen to all the hints and tips, but you've got, like you say, you've got to tweak with what's good.
22 and a half minutes played here, and Leeds 6, Warrington 6. Similar time span in the other game at Lantry Park tonight. St Helens 6, Hull 4 is the latest score. Carl Abbott has stayed down on the ground here. He looks as though he took a heavy knock in that tackle. The referee allows him to get up and play the ball, and Sinfield now crabbing to that right-hand side. Is pinned to the ground, swept 30 yards away from the Warrington line. A pick-up and a dash here from Stevie Ward, adding to the vitality of that right-hand side attack, and Callum Watkins puts a kick to the in-goal area. And not everything he does is magic, because that kick runs beyond the dead ball line, and it's going to be tackled to 20 for Warrington.
Yeah, you can just see the Leeds are a little bit more excited now. Fast play the ball, people running harder. They've just gone the full pitch there, 400 metres there for that set of 6, and that just shows that they've started to pick the game up a little bit.
Gene Ormsby's carries tonight are pretty good, aren't they? For a winger, he's getting very involved. For a winger on his debut, for a young winger on his debut, he's getting very involved tonight. His was the first carry. Westwood's was the second. Towards the halfway line. This is Bridge now. Tries to bully his way inside the Leeds half again, but they're not to be bullied. The tackle is good. Hyam again. Left once more. Towards the middle again. Griggs trying to keep it alive, trying to keep the run going, but eventually dragged down by Leeds defenders. Hyam picks up, looks to his right, shuffles off and tries to take them on, and then behind the rock, the lady was one of them, and he's run straight back behind his own man, Simon Griggs, and has made it a very simple penalty for Ben Taylor to give for crossing.
Yeah, Cardinal seen that. Ended up running up his own bottom, so to speak, over there, Mickey Hyam, but that's it. A little bit void of ideas there, Mickey. He tried one option, didn't work, ended up running back the other way, and he's ended up giving away a penalty.
Running up his own bottom, is that what they say?
I was being polite there.
You canine farming stock that you come from. St Helens 6, Hull 8 is the latest score. Richard Whiting, by the way, has got Hull second. I'm glad you were polite, by the way. We are grateful. Leeds in possession. And they're only 30 metres away from that Warrington line. 6-6 the scoreline at the moment. Hardacre's joining in again, tries to take on Myler, pushes away, Myler still going for the corner, 3 defenders. Briscoe, having wanted a pass, he just kind of flapped in the air in frustration that the ball didn't come his way. But Leeds still have a very good position here. Peacock again, twisting and turning, but Warrington defenders are there. Stoutly taken forward. 10 metres out, he plays it. Left to Maguire. Maguire hurls it on. Long pass to Joel Moon. Moon has 3 defenders, plenty of defenders. From Warrington, they numbled up well. They had more defenders than Leeds had attackers, so Moon had no chance really to create anything. This is Maguire. His football might create something here. He's two in his weight, gets to pass away. Sinfield keeps him alive. Out it comes to Bailey. Bailey runs it back, suggests he might kick the ball just for a moment, and then runs it hard at that Warrington line, and he's put down 5 out on the 5th tackle. Burrow collects. Left again, Maguire. Long pass. Oh! Can't get over. Again, Warrington's defence had worked really well. They had so many players exactly where they needed them to be.
Yeah, you'd have to say some great play there from Leeds. They've stepped up a gear so far, for the last 5 minutes, they've definitely stepped up a gear. Zach Hardacre, though, on the right-hand side, he'd done the hard work. He'd beaten the centre, he'd beaten Ryan Atkins. All he had to do was pass to Tom Briscoe on the outside, and you could see from his reaction, Tom, he wasn't happy. He was doing the south stand stomp where they were soaking and throwing his hands in the air, but Leeds, like I said, they've come up a gear now.
Ratchford trying to wind things up for Warrington, running away from dummy half. St Helens 6, Hull 10, by the way. Ben Crooks has kicked the goal. The conversion. Oh, very nearly the interception there. To Briscoe. Instead, the ball bounces out to Ormsby. But as he kind of winds himself up, the referee brings it back and says there was a knock-on from Warrington. So it'll be head and feed for Leeds. Yes, just to reiterate, St Helens 6, Hull 10. Ben Crooks has kicked the goal. Hull fans, by all accounts, cheering very loudly. They were beginning to forget what a conversion looked like, but finally they've got one. And here, Leeds in the ascendancy here, Keith Senior.
Yeah, Warrington, they're being very expansive. This game's all about inches then. If Ryan Atkins had just collected that pass, he could have just got round at Tom Briscoe, but ended up knocking on. And they've put Leeds in a great position, a great attacking position.
Hardacre runs it over, Joel Wicks on a creative space of mine. All will take on Joel Monahan, and he might just have got there. He might just have got there. He took him on the outside when he had hardly an inch to work with. Monahan's claiming he made the tackle and put him out of play. The referee's not going to make a decision with his naked vision. He's asking the video replays to have a second look at this. Keith Senior, what do you think?
I'd say Ryan Hall's left foot hooked as though it went into touch there. And this is from the gantry, and I'm calling a no try already.
Well, we're having a look at the replay now. And they're just holding it. Yeah. Has his boot lifted up, though? Has his boot lifted up? Does he touch the line with his boot? He's got his leg on the ground. Yes, he does. His left boot quite clearly touches the ground. We've got all that video technology, and all we needed to do was ask you, Senior.
Eyes of a hawk. Not bad for an old age pensioner there.
No try. You talking about the video referee to yourself? No try. And it will remain at 6 points apiece. But that's a thrilling moment. They're lovely to see Ryan Hall in full flight.
Definitely, but you'd have to say some good defence there from Joel Monahan. But some great play from Leeds there. They're spreading this ball out wide. But we know what a prolific finisher that Ryan Hall is. And you give him half a gap, and they're the type that he normally takes.
Well, it's quite a battle we're watching between those two. One to relish, the two wingers, Joel Monahan and Ryan Hall, as Keith was saying earlier, the aerial battle which Joel Monahan won in the 11th minute to score the try. And then the defensive battle won by Monahan as well, you have to say, in preventing Ryan Hall scoring a try. So it's 2-0 to Joel Monahan against Ryan Hall. There's the offload attempted by Warrington, which is no gain, but it's not come off, and Leeds have it back again. And they're only 22 yards away from the Warrington line, so rather cheap possession given up by the Warrington Wolves here. If we're just slowing things down a little, and now he allows play on, and Peacock goes crashing forward again. He doesn't make massive breaks, does he? But he puts the defence on the back foot every time he has it, and makes them work ever so hard. Here's Daly, who's lifted high in the air. He's got an arm free, suggesting he might consider the offload, but keeps a hold. And well, it's slow play the ball. Eventually out to Maguire, flattened and to Ablett. Ablett, Hardacre, here's Ryan Hall cutting back in from the wing, gets it away to Ablett again, and Ablett running into a posse of Warrington defenders. You have to take your hats off to this Warrington defence. They've organised themselves very well. There's been very little room for Leeds to work in so far. Certainly down this left-hand side of Leeds' attack. Callum Watkins has made some room on the right, but down this left-hand side, Warrington's right side defence has been very good. 6 tackle coming up. Oh, and it will be a handover because the ball's been... Oh, the referee says play on. It looks as though they've been knocked off. Surely they've been knocked off. Now he says all wrong because the ball goes to ground and it's picked up by Paul Ayton, who's off from the bench, and they get another 6 tackles. It looks like Leeds have knocked on, but they somehow get the ball back and have 6 more tackles, 10 yards away from the Warrington line. Ryan Bailey will hammer in that first tackle. 5 yards out. Ayton again, stands and waits, and another penalty for Leeds here. So this is going to take more juice out of Warrington because another penalty, Leeds will take the tap here, surely. Yeah,
you'd have to say that Warrington are defending really well, but how much toll is it going to tell on this Warrington defence?
Well, Leeds pushing forward again, 1 tackle gone, 5 metres out. Ayton is here, shaped to throw it to his right-hand side, which is exactly what he does. Sinfield gets it away to Callum Watkins, and Watkins just gathering in 3 defenders. Just seems to have a split second longer than anyone else on the field, Callum Watkins, when the ball comes to him. But Warrington defenders doing well on that occasion. Little dummy throw, no way through. Warrington's defence holding on again. Paul Ayton organising the players behind him as he waits at dummy half and throws it to Peacock, and Peacock puts the ball in both hands and charges for the line, and he's just held up short. Warrington hanging on, 5 gone. Here comes the last. Ayton again, spins it away. Maguire puts a little grip kick into that in-goal area. It's chased by Hardacre. There were a couple of Warrington players there as well. Hardacre's not celebrating too hard here, which suggests that he might not be convinced that he's got the touchdown. The referee has to be convinced. He's asked for the video replay again.
Yeah, so I think Zach Hardacre bounced this ball there, so it looks like it'll be a knock-on. But a great little kick there from Danny Maguire. See there, in behind the Warrington defence. We're round about the post area, so in theory, if it hit the post, it could ricochet anywhere, but, you know, you'd have to say Leeds are a little bit on fire at the moment. Warrington defending really well, but like we said earlier, how much will that defence tell on the Warrington team?
Well, if he bounced it here, then it will be a tap on the 20, and that gives them a little bit of relief, but we're watching it, and it's one of those that in fast motion you're not quite sure. So have a look in slow motion here. Now, does Zach Hardacre get an arm to the ball? Has he knocked on? Has he touched that ball as he's diving after it? If he's touched the ball here, he's diving after it, and the ball seems to strike his arm.
Yeah, this is a forearm, yeah.
If that is the case, it's a knock-on, isn't it? So that's the judgment that they'll have to make. Did it strike his arm? And having dived past it, he then kind of reached out with the left arm and touched it down. So this is a crucial moment. Did the ball touch his arm as he tried to touch it down? Well, they're not looking at the grounding. They're happy with the arm having touched the ball, and that tells us what we're seeing on the big screen now, that they've decided it's no try.
I'm happy with that. 2 from 2 without using the video technology for me.
Sure, doesn't like it close. What was for sweet, by the way, that kept you up?
I don't know, because I didn't have it.
You were entertaining everybody, were you?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say entertaining.
Giving them something to look at and throw their buttons at. Here is Warrington looking to bring forward again, and they've got a couple of subs on the field at the moment. Ben Curry's come on, and Michael Monaghan is coming on. Michael Monaghan operating from dummy half as Warrington move it back inside the Leeds half. 6-6 the scoreline, 9.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Remember, St Helens 6, Hull 10 is the latest score at Langtree Park. Here he is with Ben Evans, the Welsh international, who's gathered in by Leeds defenders on tackle number 5, 30 metres out from that Leeds line. Ratchford puts it high. Ablett put him under a little bit of pressure, so Ratchford's kick is not a long way downfield. It's knocked backwards by one of his own teammates. Ratchford has it again, thought about kicking it, almost lost the ball. They go through hands. They try to keep it alive on the sixth tackle. The Warrington to get the kick away. They aren't successful. It goes to ground, and it's dropped on that occasion by Stevie Ward, and Leeds have it back again.
They're just trying to be a little bit too fancy, I think, of Warrington at the moment. They've not been in this game for the last 5-10 minutes. Done a lot of defending, so the worst thing that they want to do is turn the ball over cheaply. Needed to kick that ball into the corner there, this Stephen Ratchford, and get a good kick chase, but they're just not doing that.
So Leeds coming forward, Simfield to that left-hand side, Maguire with a dummy. Grabbed that by Warrington defenders, tackled, but only 40 metres away from his own line. Hardacre now. This is Maguire. Maguire running across the face of the Warrington defence and throws it out to Callum Watkins, who from a standing start will take on Ryan Atkins. Throws it out to Briscoe. It's not a lot on for Tom Briscoe on that wing, so he has to come back and flicks the ball behind him, and Leeds again keeping alive. And Stevie Ward will put his head down and show some strength for a fairly slight-figured player to push through those defenders. But on the sixth, it's with Simfield. Simfield gets the kick off. Might have got a Warrington touch there. It hits the chest of Monaghan, almost bounces away from him, but he catches it with the second attempt, runs it back, and the defenders are there quickly to make the tackle. And Warrington start 10 metres from their own line.
Playing a little bit Hall Leeds at the moment. They're throwing this ball about, looking for the offloads, trying to keep it alive. Actually playing really well, but now it's time for Warrington yardage play. Hopefully they can dig deep and start building back into this game.
This is Michael Monaghan from acting half. It's Anthony England who's on the field, by the way, another who's on his debut tonight. He's a big fella, isn't he?
He's a big boy. I think Warrington actually changed all 4 substitutions at once.
Thrown out by Waterhouse and Hornsby, who wasn't having, in fact it was Atkins. My apologies to Glenn Hornsby. It was Atkins who's knocked that on, and a very simple mistake has given Leeds head and feet at the scrum 40 yards away from the Warrington line. 6-6 the scoreline.
He's having a very tough night tonight, is Ryan Atkins. He's not known very well for his defence, but he's a very strong attacker of the ball. And that's a couple of errors already he's made, and defensively he's got Callum Watkins against him, so far for this first half, it's one of them moments that he wants to forget so far, does Ryan Atkins.
Just looking around, I was going to say, has Richie Myler come off? He's not. He was the man who was feeding the scrum. Monaghan is on, and it is, of course, Mickey Hyle has gone off so that Michael Monaghan can take his place. Here Leeds in possession, 6-6 the scoreline, but no doubt they've been in the ascendancy for the last 10 minutes of this game now. But can they press home their advantage, or can Warrington hang on when it really is tough? Long ball out to Callum Watkins, and Watkins puts the foot down and almost gets through. And very good defensive effort from Ratchford to haul him down a couple of steps away from that goal line. It's now Peacock who twists in and bats the ball back because he was losing possession. Took a Warrington touch as he did so. So it's another 6 tackles here for Leeds. So Hardacre needs to be conservative with that first play, and is tackled. 15 out. The 6 tackle count starts here. That was a 0 tackle. It's in this time by Delaney. Delaney pushing forward and pushing hard. And he's made it to within 5 metres now. 5.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Ayton again, bends his back. Peacock takes it up to that line, gets that pass away. It's thrown out to that right-hand side. And it's an over-adventurous pass that bounces behind Tom Briscoe. And out of play, and Warrington survived. And boy, did Warrington need that mistake from Leeds.
What a relief. There was no need to do that. You know, it could have hit Zach Hardacre out the back. Ryan Atkins a little bit all at sorts to get in defence, and I can understand why they're going to that right-hand side of attack for Leeds Rhinos. The Warrington left side defence is looking a little bit shaky, and obviously with Callum Watkins and Briscoe out there, they are very dangerous, but a little bit rash there from Danny Maguire.
Reminder at half-time, we got a very special interview with Graham West, the coach of Wigan, when they won the World Club Challenge in 1994. It's a really nice listen for those who remember that game. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it's 20 years ago. 1994 is 20 years ago, apparently. You were still a young player.
That's when I made my debut then, that year.
And we'll be hearing from Graham West. And then later on tonight, in the final half an hour of the programme, we'll be hearing live from Australia about the World Cup plans for 2017. And we'll also be getting lots more chat with a special behind-the-scenes feature as well from Salford from their opening day last week against Wakefield. Hashtag BBC RL if you want to join in the conversation on Twitter, by the way. Warrington with a kick downfield. It's Hall who collects it, just a stride away from his own goal line, runs it back towards that 20-metre line, and it's going to be tackled 25 metres out. And while we're plugging things, we're going to get Sydney Roosters. That's live on Sports Extra tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Oh, here's Briscoe running up to the pass superbly well and finding a gap and showing the pace and going past Radford and outpacing the rest of the cover. And Tom Briscoe, on his home debut, scores a try that Headingley will long remember. It's 4 tries in 2 appearances now for Tom Briscoe. What a start to his Leeds career, and no wonder he's beaming large.
What an absolute exceptional try. Sometimes you have to just watch yourself and you just have to admire the skill of some people there. That Cardick is skirting across the line from a kick. Tom Briscoe ran onto that ball like a steam train, straight through the gap. Great vision there, gets round Ratchford and then does a good bend on Ben Curry as well. So all I can say, sometimes you've just got to tip your hat. That was absolutely sensational play there from Briscoe.
Picked his line, didn't he? Picked his angle, the footwork to get past Ratchford. And then, as you said, even though he gets past Ratchford, he still thought he was going to get caught here, but gets away.
That's an iron palm off Camille Artis, that. That's a great fend there from Tom Briscoe, but look at him there, just a nice little step round Ratchford there. And then the awareness there to just fend off Ben Curry. Good 60-70 metre try from Tom Briscoe on his own debut.
Oh, he punched the air with absolute delight. What a start he's having. To go back to the city of Hull, and against the team he would have considered the major rivals for the last few years, scores a hat-trick. And here tonight on his home debut, scores an absolute cracker. I mean, in that hat-trick, a couple of those tries, which we saw on the Super League show last Monday, were a bit soft. But you still get a hat-trick, you still play your hat-trick, don't you, however soft they are. But that one was a long way from being soft.
Yeah, definitely, and you just have to see his involvement in this game. I think that's only his second hit-up of this half. He's not had much involvement in this game. One, he's created a try, and 2, he scored a try. So, you know, even though he's not having much involvement, the involvements that he is having are absolute quality.
Kevin Sinfield's kicked the goal. Leeds lead by 12 points to 6. We're 2.5 minutes away from half-time, and Headingley, which was a little solemn for the opening 10-15 minutes of the game, especially after Warrington had scored through Joel Monaghan in the 11th. It's getting a little more of that sense of celebration again now, isn't it? 2 tries, and both of them absolute crackers. Briscoe involved in them both, scoring one, helping make another, and Leeds lead by 12 points to 6. And this is the point now where Warrington have got to find that self-belief, isn't it? Because they're a team just under a little bit of pressure. Leon Price has tweeted, by the way, pure class from Briscoe. Not a bad try to score on your home debut. Thanks for that, Leon. Hashtag BBC RL if you want to take part in the conversation tonight. Let's get your tweets in. And let's get plenty more eye-catching tries from both these sides here tonight. Here's Peacock taking it forward. But 1 or 2 self-doubts might be lingering in Warrington minds with the way this season started so far.
Yeah, definitely. There's 1 minute 30 to go this first half, and they'll be hoping that they get through this set, have one more set, hopefully to build a little bit of confidence. But Tony Smith's going to have to do a good team talk at half-time.
Oliver Wilkes, from what I've seen so far, nobody is anywhere close to Huddersfield Giants this year. That's what Oliver Wilkes is saying.
That's a bit out of nowhere, isn't it?
St Helens look pretty good, didn't they? Leeds are looking pretty good here tonight. But that's what Twitter's all about.
That's his opinion. That's what it's about. It's about opinion.
You love a bit of Twitter, don't you? I've seen you on there. And in your opinions.
Having my rants.
A minute to go in this first half. Leeds 12, Warrington 6. We've just seen Tony Smith looking very frustrated, and I think the reason he's looking frustrated is because Benny Westwood has just got up from that tackle and is hobbling away. And if Warrington were to lose anybody to injury, Benny Westwood is just about last on the list they'd want it to happen to. Yeah, he's still on the pitch at the moment anyway. Here's O'Brien. Oh, and O'Brien! A good play by him, and then pops one over the top, and here's a chance on this right-hand side. The kick back to the in-goal area from Chris Bridge is cleaned up by Ablett in his own in-goal area, concedes the dropout, but O'Brien there just showing a little moment of class.
Yeah, nice little break there from O'Brien. Getting his O'Brien, I'm coming up with that. O'Brien, yeah, I think he got round Jamie Peacock there. Jamie Peacock's been on for the full 40 minutes of this half, you know, so he will be starting for fatigue. So he showed his speed there for a young kid, just couldn't finish it off there.
As far as we're aware, still St Helens 6, Hull 10 at Langtree Park. Here, Leeds Rhinos 12, Warrington Wolves 6. And Leeds with 16 seconds left to play in this first half. with a dropout from Kevin Sinfield. Oh, and what a dig that is. So Brian catching it, 40 metres on the 40-metre line inside his own half. It was a 60-metre kick from Kevin Sinfield. Warrington bringing it back. Ben Evans. Benny Westwood is still out there. I think he's okay. It must have been a knock. And he'll go into half-time and get a chance to get himself back together again. Michael Monaghan is just having a word with the referee here. I'm not sure what that's about, but clearly he and his team is displeased with something in that first half. And Carl Adler has just been spoken to as well by the referee. Again, I'm not sure what that's about. We can't hear them from up here, but they disappear down the tunnel. Leeds leading 12 points to 6 at half-time, and Keith Senior, what have you made of that first half?
Yeah, Warrington again, like they did last week against St Helens, started off really well. Good first 5-10 minutes, setting a little bit of a platform, but then Leeds up to gear. Once they scored that try, you could just see the difference in the class between the two teams. Starting to find the front, fast play the balls, playing at speed, and that's what Warrington are lacking at the moment. And Leeds, when they're passing out wide, you can just see that they've got more class out wide, especially on the right-hand side. Ryan Atkins, I think, is going to be in for another very difficult second half, because he'd want to forget that first half. Defensively and attack-wise, it's not been the greatest of evenings for him, and I suppose when you've got somebody like Karen Watkins and Tom Briscoe out there, they are causing a little bit of damage.
And the way things looked in the latter half of that first half, you'd have to say you'd expect Leeds here to push on and make this a bigger win, a bigger lead than it is at the moment. Warrington have got a real job on their hands to get back into the contest in terms of competing in the contest, not necessarily on the score sheet.
Yeah, definitely, and we showed the difference in the two sides again. Warrington had quite a big spell midway through that second half where they had a lot of defence to do, but then Leeds up to gear. When Leeds had to defend, Warrington just couldn't breach their defensive line. Leeds, on the other hand, looked as though they could raise the gear a little bit more, and I think that's when we'll see. Well, the first 10 minutes will be another little bit of test of character, a little bit more of the chess game, so to speak, and then I think we'll see Leeds raise the platform again and raise the tempo.
Danny Kerman, who was an action last night for Wakefield, he's tweeting good first half. Leeds have got some great British outside backs. Watkins and Briscoe really dangerous, and a great finish by Briscoe. That's Danny Kerman. You can join in as well, hashtag BBCRL. So half time here at Headingley, and Leeds in front against Warrington by 12 points to 6. I mean, here we go, second half underway. Here comes the kick-off. It's Leeds who have possession through Zach Hardacre, and he's going to be tackled 15 metres away from his own line. One of the Brownlee brothers, presumably it's only the one Brownlee brother here as well, but they're big Leeds fans, aren't they, the Brownlee brothers?
Yes, they are, yes, and we're working with the foundation. We try and get them involved as much as we can. Also, we do a lot of running challenges, and they've made a great success of their running career, and I could do with their help at the moment to teach me how to run a bit better.
We will be asking you about that, because you've got a hell of a challenge coming on in April, haven't you? Which
just a small one.
Yeah. I know you're working at Sheffield Eagles these days, and Mark Aston was
that's a challenge in itself.
Having a chuckle at your expense. Here come Leeds in possession, early stages of the second half. 12 points to 6 Leeds lead, and the last 20 minutes of that first half suggest they could go on and win this by a distance. But here's the kick, which Ormsby has caught, has to catch that, but in catching it has run it out of play. And the young winger, well, he was in a no-win situation there. Had he let it bounce, he could have bounced anywhere. He had to catch it, but such was the speed to get across there, he couldn't stop himself. He's run it out of play, and it's Leeds head and feet, 30 metres away from the Warrington line in the early first minute of the second half. Yeah,
it's a great attacking position for Leeds, and things only just go bad from worse, but at least we know that the young kid can catch a high ball. But you've got to look at the positive side.
Sia Soliola has scored for St Helens. He put a couple of big hits in them. That's the first half apparently, and St Helens are back level at 10 points apiece against Hull. Here, Leeds looking to widen the gap between them and Warrington. It's Peacock again, who never does anything flash, not these days, possibly not ever. But all the lot of hard work and labour again. Paul Ayton, up the Papua New Guinean scrum half to Maguire and then Sinfield, and taken on again by Stevie Ward. 15 metres away, they've still got tackles in the back here, Leeds, so there's still a lot of opportunities. Sinfield looks left, and Delaney on that angled run goes testing that Warrington resolve and does not find it wanted. Benny Westwood's out there, by the way. We talked in the first half about him seeming to pick up an injury, but he seems to be okay now. Ayton again runs it short, and Hadler comes on it flat and really hard and determined, and very nearly gets over that line. It took some equally resolute Warrington defending to make sure he doesn't get over. Plays it now. It's thrown back to Maguire. This is Sinfield. Sinfield back to Hardacre. Long pass to Watkins, and Watkins takes it in full flight. And there was a lot of defenders around him, and there needed to be, because he's just dragged down a foot short, that's all you would say. And it's a handover. Warrington get possession back again.
Absolutely immense scramble in defence there from Warrington. Carl Albert there was pleading with the referee to go to the video referee. Look, because he was adamant that he got the ball on the line. Looking at the replay there, it looks as though it would have been a second effort, so good job that he didn't. But there, Callum Watkins there, you'd say he was going to score all day there, but for once Ryan Atkins stood the test, and Ormsby came in and helped him out, and some great scramble in defence.
Luke Walsh converts at St Helens, so St Helens 12, Hull 10 is the latest score at Langtree Park. Here Warrington's struggling to get off their own line. They've gone through several tackles, 4 I think, and they're still inside their own 10 metres. So Benny Westwood tries to stiffen their resolve and runs hard and straight at the Leeds line and gets up, and it's a scruffy play the ball. That was the 4th tackle. It's carried on another stride or two, but up to the 30-metre mark and on to the final tackle. Ratchford is the man at dummy half. It goes back to O'Brien, who pumps it downfield. Big boot from him right down the middle. It bounces and hops and skips and will go out of play. And that was with a bit of wind assistance, I think. I think it's behind, the wind is behind the backs of Warrington in this second half. It'll be a tap for Leeds back on the 20-metre mark.
Yeah, that's not the end of the world. A good deep kick there from O'Brien, but as you're saying, the wind's behind him. The ball ended up going in touch, and it going heading ball. The worst thing though, they've lined up on the 30-metre line and they've got the defence set, so at least they're defending in the right area of the field.
Here's Joel Moon taking it in, taken well enough by the Warrington defenders. Peacock again, greying hair, and that old man aura about him, but he's a wise old fella, and he still does the work when it's needed the most. This is Delaney now. Good effort by him. 3 Warrington defenders pushed inside that Warrington half again. Hayton looks to his left and finds young Stevie Ward, who runs in, and Ward is pushed back. Legs buckled underneath him, and down he goes. But that was tackle 5. Warrington stiffening things up here, making sure that Leeds are kept to a minimum in terms of go forward. But Moon now on the left foot fires it high in the air. Leeds players are out of this, including Sinfield, who leaps, and Ratchford's up there too. He can't catch it, but he bounces into the hands of young Ormsby. And well, he's not only caught it, he's running, and he's proving a real handful here for Leeds defenders. Eventually he's wrestled down. He looks at him, doesn't he? He's a player that I think we're going to be looking forward to watching this season.
Yeah, if he's young, hopefully he'll put a little bit more size on, and you know, he can only just grow from confidence from tonight, because he's had a good debut so far.
This is Ratchford, playing at full-back, of course, at the moment. They've got Russell to come back from injury to play at full-back, the new signing Warrington, so maybe Ratchford will not be playing too long there in that full-back's position. This is another of the youngsters, or another of the new boys, Anthony England, big lump of a lad, who carries it well inside that Warrington half. On the scissors comes Waterhouse, back on the angle. 5 gone. Warrington midway inside the Leeds half. So it's been a decent set. How does it finish? O'Brien will hope it finishes well. He hoists it high. Who's underneath this? It's taken well on that far left-hand side by Ryan Hall. Pouched it safely, puts it back to the defenders. But it's Leeds' turn to start from very close to their own line. It's a good set from Warrington.
Yeah, definitely a great kick into the corner. There's nothing worse than coming off your own try line. Now it's time for Leeds to front up, and we'll see who can do the attacking yard, and see if Warrington can restrict the amount of metres that Leeds come out of yardage.
And after 46 minutes of game time, Jamie Peacock eventually comes off. What a stint that has been.
He won't be happy about that.
Here's Bailey. Doesn't look happy. Here's Bailey, running into the 30-metre mark, but they're on tackle 5. They've just got the 1 to go, so they need to get the kick away here. Hardacre does well to step away from a couple of defenders. Boots it downfield. Ratchford's underneath it. The ball's swirling a little in the air, but he's caught it safely enough and looks and sees that there's a wall of blue and amber fencing in his direction, and he's tackled 8 short of the halfway line. Ormsby's eager again to have a go and trying to out-muscle that Leeds defence down the middle, but he can't do so this time. Down he goes. 2 gone on the halfway line. It's back with Westwood, and Westwood puts his head down like a wrecking ball, trying to scatter defenders ahead of him. Michael Monaghan up from dummy half. Here comes England again. He's a monster as he runs it in. 4 gone. Warrington looking a little more confident now, a little more resolved, a little more direct as well. This is taken on by Ben Curry. Tackle 5, 20 out. Hands in the air from Michael Monaghan. Wants to get on with it quickly. O'Brien shuffles a little kick towards the in-goal area. Leeds players are there, but they're not going to get there. They're not going to get there. And Evans went diving after it. Almost got a touch. Ryan Hall came flying across from the wing to kick it dead just when it looked as though his teammates had made a mess of that. And Leeds survive. Warrington putting the pressure on, drop out underneath the 20.
Yeah, and that just shows how important a good kicking game is and a good defensive set after that kick. Leeds, Warrington kicked the ball into the right-hand corner and defended really well. Leeds ended up kicking the ball on the 30-metre line. Bit of confusion, Zach Hardacre put the kick in. Ratchford caught the ball on the full, and straight away Warrington in a good attacking set there and putting a great kick in there again and getting another set of 6.
Ratchford stumbles to his knees to catch that ball, offers it on to England. England goes flying forward, and Stevie Ward flies off him, and he's probably thinking, what on earth was that that's just hit me? And Stevie Ward's getting up, and the little dicky birds are flying round his head, and Warrington are in good position. Anthony England following in the footsteps of Alex Walker, big fella stepping up for the championship and making an impact straight away. Penalty for Warrington here, messing about in the tackle, so penalty for Warrington. Just less than 30 metres out, directly in front of the sticks, so it's good field position to run from again. It's on by Evans, who's advanced by 10 metres, and then he's pushed back by 6 by a determined Leeds 3-man defence, led by Ludoy and Bailey. Michael Monaghan, England again, anxious for a little more of a heavy-duty exposure down the middle. Michael Monaghan to his right-hand side. O'Brien flicks it to the left. This is Richie Myler up to the line, and Ratchford's in there, and now it's Atkins, who's a little pocket of daylight in which to run, but it closes quickly. Envelope shuts, and Warrington are kept out. Myler with the footwork, Leeds with the defence. He's tackled 5 metres away. Michael Monaghan bending his back, throwing it right. O'Brien, Ratchford has to stretch and reach it and tries to pass, and it's not a good one. Joel Monaghan is left stranded, isolated out there with 4 defenders bearing down on him, and all he can do is take the tackle and go down. That was tackle 5, 15 metres out, right hand side. O'Brien chipping over the top again. Sinfield's in position, has caught it, but having caught it, well, he caught it and was pushed back into his own in-goal area, but the referee deciding that the contact was made while Sinfield still had his feet off the ground, an illegal tackle in mid-air. Warrington just a little over-eager on that occasion, penalty Leeds.
Yeah, serious play there from Waterhouse. All he had to do was just delay the tackle by seconds, and he would have easily put him into the in-goal and they'd have had another set of 6, but instead he's just relieved the pressure for the Leeds team.
Johnny Lomax has scored another try for St Helens. They lead by 16 points to 10 with a kick to come. Here, Leeds 12, Warrington 6, the South stand just getting into voice at the moment. Bailey winding himself up and running at that Warrington line. He's lost the ball. The referee says play on. It was a straight drop by Ryan Bailey, and so Warrington have it back again, and this is a little purple patch they're enjoying at the moment, Warrington. They're getting possession inside their opponent's half, and they are just testing the willpower of Leeds here, and maybe just fatiguing them a little, because Leeds are having to do all the defending. England tackled again, and slowly to his feet, like a Barney Rubble figure, picks himself up, back it goes from Ben Evans, runs it on the angle, 15 out, collected and wide to O'Brien. O'Brien wider still, stepped by the man on that far side, Chris Bridge. He flicks the pass away. Joel Monaghan's nowhere to go again. Has to get up and play it from the tackle. And they're trying to bustle their way over from Billy half there, Ratchford. And the referee says, what? Leeds players are offside. Just a little step too forward, so it is a penalty for Warrington here. This is terrific possession they're having, Warrington.
It is, yes. The tide will tell, though. That's the thing. So it's how many points can Leeds restrict this Warrington attack? There's some great play there from Ratchford there. Realised that Danny Maguire were offside.
Oh, Michael Monaghan! Sharp play, dummy half, ran across the line, and then just tried to cut between defenders, but Leeds defence responds adequately enough on that occasion. Miley from Dunner half, laying it on. They're just trying to bulldoze their way over at the moment. Warrington, Leeds are fairly stiff and strong, and quick hands again now as Warrington go wide, and Ratchford finds himself in a huge gap. Oh, what a recovery defence that was! That was every minute a try. Who was that? Was that Hardacre? Now the kick to the in-goal area, which Ryan Hall will take before it goes behind the net ball line and runs it away. It was miracle defence by Leeds.
Very good defence from, but what was Ratchford doing there? Just took it way too easily. He must have just thought that it goes to ground Zach Hardacre. Not trying to take anything away from Zach Hardacre there. Got under Ratchford, drove him back a little bit, but Ratchford there was just way too lackadaisy then.
And to compound the Warrington miscuing, they've now given away a penalty. Chris Hill lifting a leg in the tackle, I think. So the penalty goes Leeds' way, and having survived what seemed a certain try, they now get the chance to clear their lines and the tap 35 metres out.
And is this now a turning point in the game? We know that the game changes direction all the way through the half. Warrington have had a lot of possession in that first, second half.
Leeds have lost it again though. Singleton, the young top forward, Brad Singleton, has knocked on.
First hit up of the game for Brad Singleton there. He's just come on and just knocked on, so that's not a great start for the young kid, who had a great game last week against OKR starting as well.
Spent a bit of time with Brad Singleton in the off-season, and he seems to be a youngster with a good attitude.
Oh, he's keen as a youngster. He's had to bide his time, he's had to do the hard yards, he's had a few injuries, but he's started to come of age of late.
Myler knocks on, straight away from the scrum, and has literally handed possession back to Leeds. And Briscoe has lost it, as they're trying to move it out wide, but of course, that was the advantage play, so it looks a little harum-scarum for Leeds, but they will get the scrum down for the original knock-off.
I think they're just trying to play a game who can do the worst knock-on at the moment now. 3 knock-ons there in quick succession. Time to take it easy a little bit now and just build back into this game. And Leeds need to get into this game because it's been all Warrington. Now hopefully they can make that chance to do that.
Your old Sheffield coach John Keir was here. He'd be calling it a knock-on-a-thon, wouldn't he? He loves his knock-on-a-thons.
Nobody likes a knock-on-a-thon.
This is Leeds in possession, looking to exploit their moment with the ball. It's Watkins who's tackled 5 metres inside the Warrington half. Singleton again, looking to re-establish. In fact, it's Peacock. Not Singleton. There's a difference, about 30 years difference in age. This now is Stevie Ward, half next to break, with his side down, picked up by Aiton. This is Singleton. This is very definitely Singleton as he drives it forward again. And Leeds have suddenly found themselves 25 metres out, within range here. Tackles in the bag as well. Peacock, having not had long on the bench to get his breath back. Sinfield goes for the gap and almost gets through. Real turn of foot by him. Lightning little break, but recovery by the Warrington defence. The kick from Maguire is not a good one. Straight into Warrington hands. Then Curry picks it up, and Warrington had it back again, but only 10 from their own line.
Yeah, great defensive play and great attacking play there from Sinfield. That's the first time he's probably been described as having such speed as you just described of him there, but there's some great defence there from Myler, just grabbing at his heels, and Warrington now coming out of yardage on the 30 metres.
My colleague Danny Lockwood is tweeting, how good has Zach Hardacre been in keeping Leeds Rhinos in front? Best fullback in Super League, question mark. Best fullback in Super League, Zach Hardacre?
Big statement.
Well, it's less than 140 characters because it was on the tweet, so count that. But there aren't many. Who's going to be better than Zach Hardacre, would you say? We'll leave you thinking about it. Here's a kick downfield from Warrington. And Hardacre, he's going to knock on now, isn't he? We set these players up, and then they do something wrong. Hardacre's running it back towards the 20-metre mark, just over it now, and that's where he's tackled. But he's made that position his own now, hasn't he? And I suppose the frustration from him from an international point of view is he's got a certain Sam Tompkins ahead of him.
Yeah, and whenever Sam Tompkins is around, you'd have to say that he's always going to be second string. But it's nice to see that he's actually started to bring a little bit of a passing game into his game now. Setting up that try with Tom Briscoe, passing the ball, because that was something that it was just a little bit predictable at times when he was hitting the ball.
Hashtag BBCRL. You want to take part in the conversation, the Rugby League conversation here tonight. BBC Sports Extra, 5 Live Sports Extra. If you're just discovering us tonight for the very first time, then this is the home of Rugby League on the radio. Thursdays, Fridays, make a day. And Saturday mornings this week as well. The World Club Challenge, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Commentary on that Wigan against Sydney Roosters game. Aiton from dummy half. I'd suggest it's the only place you'll find commentary of Roosters against Wigan in this country as well tomorrow. So if you're listening to it on the radio, it has to be 5 Live Sports Extra. Aiton now for Leeds, 20 metres out. As they look to build on this 12-6 lead they have at the moment. Maguire with a dummy. And Warrington not buying it. Michael Monaghan, good in defence. Now it's Sinfield again. Inside ball for Peacock. Peacock turns in the tackle, but he's swallowed up by 2 more defenders before he can think about getting that ball away. Aiton. This is Maguire. Maguire 10 metres out. Hardacre looking along the line. They've all just run a little too far ahead of him, so he's not going to make a pass with defenders advancing towards him on the 6th tackle. Back it goes to Stevie Ward. Hardacre again, and Hardacre suddenly straights up, all the gap over it, scores the try. Well, that was a real coach's effort from Zach Hardacre, his second of the night. It was an opportunity too good to pass up. Once he'd seen it, it was down to blistering pace to get to the line. And Leeds are looking a little more comfortable at 16 points to 6.
Yeah, some great vision there from Zach. There was nothing on. Ball was just pinging about. It just seemed to lose a little bit of direction. Zach ended up collecting the ball and just saw a nice little gap and just dived through it. So we didn't curse him there. We ended up giving him a little bit of a rush of blood and he's ended up scoring a great try.
Well, he's on 2 tries. I wonder if there's a hat-trick in the air, a second successive Leeds hat-trick. Briscoe having scored a hat-trick last week, of course. Warrington are going to be disappointed here. Hull are going to be disappointed because they've gone further behind. St Helens 22, Hull 10. And James Roby, I think, has just scored his second try of the night there. So it looks as though St Helens are heading there. So we have cursed. We might not have cursed Hardacre, but we have cursed Hull, talking about possibly 2 successive wins for Lee Radford. They might still do it, but they're at least 2 scores behind now with a kick to come.
Yeah, it's always a difficult place to go in St Helens, so, 22-10, still a morale victory, so to speak.
Are they looking the real deal this year, Saints?
I predicted them to be a little bit better than what they were last season, but I think with the signings that they brought in, I think they are looking a lot stronger. And they proved it last week against Warrington that they are looking so far, 1 game, 2 games in, that they are looking as though they're going to be title contenders.
Kevin Sinfield prepares himself with a kick, hits it, pulls it left, and oh no, it's gone in. It's one of those that swerved at the last minute, as if he's got like a little remote control in his short pocket, and he just twiddles at the last moment to make sure he goes between the uprights. 3 out of 3 for his tonight, 18 points to 6 is the scoreline, and again not getting too far ahead. If Leeds carry on and win this, then Warrington will have lost their opening 2 games, albeit against St Helens at home and Leeds away. It's a tougher start you cannot imagine, but last coach to lose 2 home games, the first 2 games of the season as a Warrington coach. Last Warrington coach to lose the first 2 games of the season. He got the sack. Jimmy Lowe's. Your old teammate, Jimmy Lowe's. Oh no, you were never teammates, were you?
Only international.
Yeah. Again, you never spoke to each other because he was from Bedford and you were from Leeds. Here it's Leeds in possession. Inside their own 30 metres. 21 minutes left to play. Leeds 18 at Warrington 6. And we're not saying that Wolves are beaten just yet because 2 scores in it, absolutely anything can happen. But it's just the way the game is going at the moment. Leeds are bossing it. Warrington have had their moments but haven't been able to take advantage. But maybe they've got another moment here because a miracle pass attempted by Callum Watkins has gone behind Tom Briscoe, out of play. Warrington's head and feet, 35 metres out. Now this is the kind of moment that Warrington have to grasp now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the forwards just need to front up. Asatasi's come back on. I think Ben Westwood's probably in the hardest runner tonight. England's done a good job, but the rest of the pack haven't really done any devastation. They haven't caused any damage, and that's what Warrington need to do. They need to get a forward pack running into it and start getting some fast play of the balls and picking up this tempo of this game.
Luke Walsh has just converted the try, 24 points to 10. There's some debate as to whether that last try was Roby or Walsh, by the way, but St Helens 24, Hull 10 is certainly the latest score, and with 20 minutes left to play, Leeds 18, Warrington 6. Keith says Warrington have to get something here now. They'll desperately want in this set to make their mark. It's picked up by Michael Monaghan, and Hill will force his way forward. If they can score, they set the doubts maybe ringing in the heads of Leeds Rhinos. This is O'Brien. Busy night he's had, scurrying across. Ratchford from fullback into the line, pushes away Watt, tries to push another, bowls it out to that right hand side, and Chris Bridge to centre, surrounded by Leeds defenders. Nothing he could do. Gets the tackle, takes the tackle. Monaghan up from dummy half, has to go from the line. Leeds defenders having to be sharp. They hold him up, they push him back a stride or 2. That's Michael Monaghan, and it's a penalty. It's a penalty for Warrington, presumably for offside. That's what the referee's indicating. So another 6 tackles here for Warrington to have a real go. Westwood tackle, 5 metres out. Left it comes towards the middle of the park again. O'Brien spins it back to Myler. Myler gets it on again. Griggs is going to be tackled in full flow. Leeds defenders out quickly. Sinfield very much involved in that. Back to the middle again. Asatasi spins it to O'Brien. O'Brien offers it back for one of his big men. Curry, I think it is, to try and have a go. But he's going to be held up. Still 5 or so metres away. Michael Monaghan right in front of the 6. Asatasi, the big fella, tries to push his way over. A brutal effort by him, but good defending from Leeds to play the ball. Looked a bit untidy. I think Michael Monaghan just about rescued it from being a knock-on, but he has to play it again now, having made no yards. O'Brien on the 6, sadly caught high by Adler, is he? But O'Brien's gone down rather theatrically, and the referee is saying it's a 6 tackle and a handover. Nothing wrong with it, although he is going to have a word with his touch judge. just for the first instant there, Ben Thaler looked as though he was saying there's nothing wrong with that, play on. But they have this communication with each other these days, don't they? And I think the touch judge, Tim Roby on that far side, was just shouting something to it.
Yeah, I think it's great that the touch judges get involved, because obviously the referee can't see anything, so the more communication that they can have with the touch judge, the more involvement that they can have, it can only benefit the game. Because at the end of the day, it's a fast-flowing game, so the referees need as much help as possible.
Yeah, he caught him high. I mean, there was nothing malicious about that, was there? It was just a kind of steps, and Hamlet was a little clumsy, couldn't find the footwork, and smacked him around the chops. But it is a penalty for Warrington, so well done touching. Tim Roby on that far side, so another step here for Warrington to have a go. Asatasi with a first drive in. If Warrington can get something in, it really is game on again. It's going to be Hill, another of the big men. But again, that kind of very straightforward, let's run as hard as we can and as fast as we can, is not going to get through that Leeds line, not on this occasion. Hill's held up over the line, so has to jog back to the 10-metre line to play that ball on the restart. 2 tackles gone. Myler on that left-hand side. Easy take on Simon Griggs. Leeds defenders there in numbers. Myler again, shuffles it back to the middle. Michael Monaghan. Hill, another sprightly effort for him, the big man once more. But there are shoulders flying at him from all directions. So down he goes, onto his knees, picks himself up, plays it. Michael Monaghan runs away, tries to skirt between defenders and around defenders. But again, that fairly two-dimensional approach here from Warrington is not working just at the moment. And the high loop ball to that right-hand side. Out it goes, Bridge puts the kick in. It's going to be a pick-up, an easy pick-up on that far side. Oh, and it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on by Ryan Hall as he tried to pick it up. Yep, we're just seeing the replay. He did knock on. And it'll be Warrington who get the head and feet again. This is really heavy pressure from the Warrington Wolves.
And that's the thing, they're applying all this pressure but they're not coming away with any points. That's probably the disappointing aspect for Warrington. They're scooting across the line but they're still not breaching this Leeds defence, who are scrambling really well.
We've got an answer, by the way. Who's the best full-back in Super League? I think it was David Held who tweeted saying that Brett Carney's the best full-back. He's better than Zach Hardaker. It must be Brett for Bullsback.
Yeah, probably. I just watching Harry Valetiti running over the top of him last night for his try.
To be fair, he was already in the equal area. To be fair, it was Ali Valetiti, you know.
I'll put a big statement out there as well. They've got Ben Jones-Bishop at Leeds as well, and he's probably just as good as Zach Hardaker in the full-back position.
Here come Warrington attacking here, carrying on now this set. Having another go. Michael Monaghan collects, throws it left. O'Brien spins it onto Myler, back towards Ratchford. Oh, there was just an interception attempt by Briscoe. The ball sent to ground. And Leeds thought they had it and were going to run away, but Briscoe quite clearly got a touch earlier in there, knocking it down. It's another set here. It's a scrum down, head and feed for Warrington, 10 metres out, 18-6 Leeds lead. But if Warrington can get a try here with 16.5 minutes to play, there's still an awful lot left in this game. Keep Senior.
Yeah, Briscoe had to come out of the line there. Warrington had created the overlap. Briscoe took a little bit of a chance, went to try and intercept it, but ended up knocking on the ball. And again, another set of 6.
Here come Warrington again, desperate to find a way through. St Helens 24, Hull 16, by the way. Gareth Ellis with a try and Ben Crooks with a goal. So Hull back in that game only 8 points behind. Here, Warrington looking to get back to within 6 points if they can. It's taken on by Simon Griggs. But again, right under the shadow of those sticks he's put down, a stride away from where he wants to be. Now it comes to that right-hand side. High ball. Westwood has to take it. It was a difficult pass, and he's gathering it in. He's gathered defenders around him, losing all momentum. Has to play it again. It's Warrington just hammering away here, just battering away. But they can't get through. Asatasi is the latest. On the ball play. Now it's with O'Brien. O'Brien with a dummy. Steps off the left foot. Puts his head down. Reaches for the line. Doesn't quite make it. And that was tackle 5. Leeds hanging on. Michael Monaghan throws it left. Myler with a kick towards the corner. He's a 6-fella on stick, but he ain't big enough to take that catch. He gets fingertips to it, that's all. It was a poor kick, to be fair, from Richie Myler. And Leeds survive. They get the ball back after what was 3-4 consecutive sets on their own line. Warrington come up with zip.
Leeds' determination in defence. You can never say that defence can't win your games, because that's what's kept Leeds in this game so far. They've just been defending there for 5-10 minutes, solid on the bounce, and they've kept Warrington out. You know, that just shows how hard they are working in defence.
Ryan Hall running it forward, big barrel-chested winger, and he's going to be making the most of Warrington defenders trying to put him down. Briscoe now will have another go, and all those big forwards have been working so hard down the middle are getting a bit of a timely rest here. Rob Burrow is on and skipping away. He's another little fella, just having a go. The forwards are all saying, you know what, you little fellas have a go here. You outside backs have a go, because we're absolutely jiggered. Here comes Delaney. And Delaney's tackled on the 40-metre mark. 5 gone. Arm in the air from referee Ben Taylor. 40 metres out. Burrow throwing it all the way back to Maguire. Inside for Hardacre. Hardacre gets away from Hill. Gets the kick downfield. Not necessarily the best, but he's turning for something better, because Monahan just pokes the toe ahead and he bounces off his toe and runs back towards his own goal line. He picks it up now beyond the 10-metre line. Slips as he tries to bring it forward. Runs into Rob Burrow. And Warrington start from there 15 metres out, and their forwards must be absolutely exasperated here because of all the battering and all the barging they've done. They now have to go back to the other end of the field and start all over again.
Oh, it's a nightmare, isn't it, when the opposition gets a good kick in. The forwards are having to go all the way back, so it's now time for the Warrington backs to get in there, do the hard yards and give the big guys a little bit of a breather.
Tom Makinson scored another try for St Helens, who lead 28 points to 16 with a kick to come. This is Hill. 13 and a half minutes to go here. Warrington in possession, but Leeds lead 18 points to 6. It's O'Brien again, shoving it over the top. The ball will roll out of play, will it? Yes, it will. Just rolls out of play. And well, I think both sets of forwards will be quite relieved here, won't they? Because they can walk to a scrum, get a breather and get some oxygen back in their lungs.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's better for Leeds as well. Obviously, they're 18-6 in front, slowing the game down, giving them a chance to get fresh, get a breather. Warrington needs to score, end of the day, so the Rhinos, you know, they'll be happy that ball's gone dead. They get a chance to regroup as well and, you know, look at the yardage set coming up now.
So 13 minutes left, as Keith says, and Leeds inside their own 20 metres. Ryan Hall doing his best to batter his way out, the battering ram winger. And now Hardacre running on and making it hard work for Warrington's defenders to get to him, but they do get to him. This is Watkins, Callum Watkins, into the tackle and spinning away and up towards the 40-metre mark, but eventually he's put down. He kind of stole an extra 10 metres there, didn't he, with his weight in the tackle. A risky pass by Tom Briscoe, but Maguire has taken it safely enough, just short of the halfway line. This is Burrow now. Peacock down the middle, still playing, still going. Jamie Peacock racking up the minutes in this game once again, but on the sixth tackle, Leeds looking wide, and Warrington desperate to get the pressure on Sinfield. Sinfield's kick takes a deflection off a Warrington player. Ormsby bends his back and gets to it, runs away, or tries to run away for the Warrington defenders, gets away from Sinfield, but he's in trouble now because there are 6 waiting for him, and he's put down 15 metres out from his own. Warrington with Westwood. In, up, and down. Walsh has missed his conversion, by the way, the first time he's missed in Super League. A conversion attempt, but St Helens still lead 28-16 in that game against Hull. Penalty here for Warrington, which gets them downfield. Smashed out of play by O'Brien. Tap back on the 40-metre mark. They want to get up here as quickly as they can. 11 and a half to go. We know. And if we didn't know, we were given proof last week in that whole game that anything can happen. 11 minutes left to play. The whole script can be rewritten, torn up, rewritten again. The whole game can be turned on its head. But just at the moment, Warrington are labouring to break through this Leeds line, which is holding on superbly well.
Yeah, I think they need to start being a little bit more adventurous, and they need to start pushing their arm a bit, looking for a few offloads, looking for these passes, and just basically trying to break this Leeds defence that's just been strong all night.
Well, they're trying the offloads here. Rashford's offloaded. They've gone all the way to the right. Now they come all the way to the left. They've advanced in total by about 10 yards or so down this left-hand side. This is Myler, claims of a forward pass. Asatasi, Roy Asatasi, bundling it forward. The man they signed from the NRL last season to cover for the departures of Adrian Morley, Gareth Calvin. Oh, there's a pass over the top. Doesn't that just trouble Warrington's knife? The pass over the top, was it Richie Myler's pass? It was. And the Warrington players on the outside, well, they ducked. Ryan Atkins ducked and the ball flies out of play, leaves his head and feet.
It was just one of them passes to nothing though. Richie Miley just a little bit void of ideas there. Had Ryan Atkins and also the winger outside him, but there was nothing on for them, so Ryan Atkins wasn't sure whether the pass was for him, ducked out of the way, and the ball just ended up rolling into touch.
So Leeds have it back again, and it's a case now of running down the clock as well. Almost into the final 10 minutes. 10 minutes and 12 seconds left to play. 18-16 here in Leeds' favour against Warrington. St Helens 28, Hull 16. Oh, here's Ryan Hall. Not just a battering ram, he's almost got through the door. Just dragged back by Short by Hill, and Burrow goes scampering off there on that left-hand side, and Westwood there to make the tackle. Alongside him was Chris Bridge. And down they go. And 10 metres, and Aiton had to drag that back from between his legs there. They played the ball, shot back at him, but he just about kept it clean. And it's eventually onto Peacock. And Peacock is tackled, 35 out. And now it's Sinfield, and Sinfield up to the line, and Maguire with a short pass to Delaney, and Delaney running all enthusiastically, but met well by Warrington defenders. 5 gone, 25 metres out. Hardacre with a kick, aiming at the legs of Ormsby. Ormsby almost got there. Hardacre and Ormsby are scrambling on the floor trying to get there. It's blocked to ground, it's gone backwards. Leeds picking up, here's Maguire. It's another 6 tackles, and Maguire's going to be put down 15 metres out, and Leeds have 6 tackles from here.
The bouncing ball is going for Leeds tonight. Danny Maguire putting a kick in there.
Penalty for Leeds.
Ball scrambling everywhere. It just seems to be one of them nights for Warrington. Nothing seems to be coming off for them at all, and everything for Leeds.
Quick play, Daly goes staggering forward, and he's lost. Well, he made about 10 metres, and then they got him off balance and pushed him back by about 12. Here comes Rob Burrow, Duncan the weak one tackle. Myler gets to him. It's more of a like for like in terms of height and weight, Myler and Burrow, and it is a good tackle, and Burrow's put down. He looks a little scathed as well. This is Peacock. Peacock with 3 defenders gathered in, right in front of the sticks, 8 metres or so, out from the Warrington line. Try here from Leeds would surely win the game. 8.5 minutes to go. Drop goal might win it. Kevin Sinfield hits the post with his drop goal attempt, and it falls into the hands of Ryan Atkins, and Warrington have it. Leeds players were offside as they made the tackle. Well, Sinfield hits the post. At one point it would have made it a 3-score game. Instead, Warrington have got away with it and taken the penalty quickly, the tap, and Ratchford's running out to the 30-metre mark.
It's just a comedy. Kevin Sinfield missing a kick. All the players obviously were offside, giving away the penalty. Very loose transition from attack to defence. These need to be a lot faster than that, because Warrington have made some good yardage.
Here's Bridge, but he only stumbled a couple of yards forward. Hill now, there's no stumbling about his effort. He carries it strongly, and Sinfield's limping and just holding his ankle and not looking happy, and jogs away from players. Behind him, Mickey Hyam is back on for Warrington. Gathers in the yards, but 5 tackles gone. So O'Brien on the sticks will hoist it high. Hardacre is underneath it and catches it safely. Defenders coming to him. He ducks away from one. He's put down by the other, but Leeds start from in the field of play. Peacock on the far side. Well, you've got 2 of them. Sinfield on the near side is still hobbling, and Peacock on the far side looks like he's about to draw his pension. He looks absolutely out on his feet, but he's just walking back into the line.
Cracker's having a nice walk in the park, isn't there?
You know, all he needs is a dog and a lead, isn't it, really? But you know there's another big effort coming from him very soon, and here he comes, ready to stop, and here he comes. Just a moment ago it looked as though he was ready to go off, but he's still got the effort and the mental ability to take it in again. He's a tough old character. Ablett now, crashing it forward. 5 tackles gone. Where's Kevin Sinfield? Holding off to the sidelines, Kevin Sinfield. That's where he is. He's not going to be risked any further tonight. Stevie Ward is the man who comes off for him. And Kevin Sinfield, who took that off a couple of minutes ago, hobbles off. And he's still lifting as he walks to his side. Looks like a forward pass. Ireland takes it. Referee says play on. 6.5 minutes to go. Leeds to lead 18 points to 6. It could still be a game in the balance. If Warrington can score, they've had no shortage of possession in this second half. It's what they've done with it and what Leeds have done without it that has made the difference. Warrington 35 out. Mickey Hyam having a good push at Danny Maguire because he wants to get off his man and play that ball, and it is played. And Hill again, that's a robust effort from Chris Hill once again, the former Lee man, of course. Who are looking good at the start of the championship, by the way. They battered Backley last weekend. O'Brien puts the pass over the top. It's taken on by Bridge on that far right-hand side. Joel Monaghan on his outside, but Bridge takes a lone pass back down the middle, or towards the middle. And on tackle 5, he's 10 metres out when he's stopped. O'Brien puts a kick over the top. It hangs and hovers, and up goes Peacock. Myler was there. Mismatch in height. Mismatch in determination, you have to say, on that occasion. Peacock gets possession, and Leeds have it back just a stride from their own line.
He's even taking over the full-back position tonight, Jerry Peacock, catching the bombs, doing everything is the rod.
Well, look at him. He looks cheated. Look at him.
He's standing
there. Oh my word, he's greying hair, he's furrowed brow, and but he's still out there. Take me off if you dare, he'll be saying to the coach, because I'm ready to rattle it forward again at some point. In the meantime, he'll let his teammates do a bit of the hard work. And it's up towards the 40-metre mark. 5 tackles gone. The hunting horn is sounded in the distance. as Harlake gets the kick away despite the advancing Myler. Joel Monaghan's ready to pick it up, and he does on the bounce, runs it past and almost beats one man, does beat one man, gets to the halfway line. Well, it's a good start here for Warrington to this set. They find themselves starting on the halfway line, and maybe this is a chance. They are running out of sets. They have to score twice at the very least to draw the game. At the very least, they'll have to score 3 times to register their first win of the season. But they've only got 4.5 minutes left to play. Hyam's not going to give up trying. He goes off from dummy half. Runs into defenders again. O'Brien, who's had a good night tonight, hasn't he? I think he's been one of the starring lights, Gareth O'Brien. The pass there has got to ground. Knocked on by Watkins in his attempt to pick it up smartly. And it will be Warrington's scrum, their head and feet, 20 metres out, but only 4 minutes left. Keatsy.
That's a little bit of a set play that Warrington have got at the moment, but they have the full back starts on the inside and then comes on a big loop and comes on the outside, but it just does didn't turn up then, and Grigg still gave the pass, you know, so that just shows how loose up Warrington have been tonight. A little bit disappointed by the fact from Warrington. They've not really caused the inroads, and, you know, Roy Asatasi and Hill needed to cause a little bit more damage than what they have done.
Well, here come Warrington again, and this might just be the last shake, because less than 4 minutes to go. This set, surely they have to score to give themselves hope. Here comes Westwood, and he will never give up hope. My word, Barry Westwood has scored the try! That is extraordinary! Well, the referee's asking the question, because there might be a question of double movement, but put that down to absolutely belligerent determination from Benny Westwood. 3 defenders around him, and he never stopped pushing and running and shoving and reaching. And if he's not touched the ground before he gets there, this will be an extraordinary score.
I think he crawled 3 metres, the last 3 metres there, crawled to get to the try line.
Well, it's all about the ball carrying arm. I don't think at any stage that went down. I think the left arm went down a time or two, but the ball carrying arm didn't, from the view that we've got. And this, I think, is going to be a try. They've only had the one look yet. They're looking at the grounding now. Oh, now we're going back. Well, Benny Westwood there, the physical strength to actually do that through all those defenders. But not only that, the rugby league sense to keep his ball-carrying arm off the floor. I mean, we talked about the eye-catching scores that we've seen tonight, but that is right up there as the purest rugby league try. When it's given, it's going to be given any minute now. Here we go. Decision time. Try given, Benny Westwood, take your hat off. That is extraordinary.
Yeah, that's the grit and the determination tries out there from Benny Westwood. Like I said, he must have crawled the last 3 metres on his knees, and he had the nous to make sure that the ball carrying arm didn't get on the ground, and also momentum. Once momentum stopped, then that's when the tackle was completed as well. But neither of that, he made sure that he carried on driving, leg drive, knee drive, shuffling along, doing whatever he could do to make sure that he could get over that try line.
Well, if Warrington get away with anything here tonight, on a night they would otherwise want to forget, because there has been a poor performance by them, then you'd have to say Benny Westwood is the man. I mean, his coach, Tony Smith, every post-match press conference you go to, he never waits to be asked a question. All through last year, he never waited to be asked a question. He would always tell you, Benny Westwood, great performance tonight. Benny Westwood, fantastic performance tonight. And I rather suspect he'll be queuing up to tell us again after this match how good Benny Westwood is. 3 minutes left to play. 2 minutes 50 seconds to be exact. Warrington still have hope. Here comes Hyam. Leeds still have nerves. St Helens 34 points to 16. Nakenson's try converted by Walsh from the touchline. 34-16. St Helens lead against Hull, so no doubt about who's going to win the inaugural Prescott Cup match there tonight. Here's Westwood again. He's a one-man destruction. He's got the offload out of that tackle. How did he manage that? You know, in the space of 2 minutes he's making a claim for man of the match here tonight. That was an extraordinary offload. Here comes Nicky Hyam down this left-hand side. Myler now has got a bit of a gap to run into, and he'll seize the opportunity, throws a pass to his right-hand side. O'Brien's got it, O'Brien's tracked down. A yard short, that's all. And it was the 6th tackle. Oh, desperately frustrating for Warrington. The 6th tackle. They'd opened Leeds up. Myler not quite able to rip a hole through. O'Brien not quite able to rip a hole through. And Leeds hang on, and that might just be the match-winning moment for Leeds. Yeah, just a little bit of fatigue is setting into the Leeds defence at the moment. You can see now, coming out of yardage, they're all clumped together, they're all looking tired, no shape at all. They just need to dig deep for the final 1 minute 40 seconds, and the game's theirs. But Warrington,
too little too late. They've just started sparking up a little bit too much too late.
Kevin Sinfield looking on agonisingly from the touchline, having gone off with his victory, unable to take part here. 90 seconds left to play. Leeds still have possession. Paul Ayton runs it back towards the halfway line. They'll settle for this lead. Warrington want that ball back. They should get it back on the next play because that was tackle 5. Here comes the sticks. 80 seconds left. If Leeds get it out of play, that will wind the clock down. It will go out of play. Danny Maguire's phone touch, just what his side needed. Warrington now will gather together and put that scrum down and give themselves a chance. They're still turning it down. 63 seconds, 62. Now they pack down. Now the clock is stopped with exactly a minute left to play. We have 1 set to go. Warrington has 1 set to try and win this game. Leeds 1 set to defend it. Warrington have to go 75 metres if they are going to win it. Or get level in the game, I should say.
Yeah, set to 6 normally takes it. The longest takes a minute, so we definitely know that they've got that if they don't knock on or drop this ball. So it'll be interesting now to see whether they're going to have a chance for arm, offload, look for anything. But we could see something exciting here from Warrington.
Danny Hart with a try. So for Hull, by the way, 34 points to 20, but I'm still sure the Saints are going to win that game. Into the final minute. That was tackle 1. Now they'll have another go. Ripping it up. Look at the determination here from Warrington. They've carried it to within 5 metres of the halfway line. 4 tackles to go. 40 seconds left to play. Hill now with another determined effort. Puncturing through that Leeds defence and then slipping to the floor. 3 tackles gone. 40 metres out. Ratchford picks it up. Arcing run. It's a really good set this for Warrington. They've gone from deep inside their own half to 25 metres out. Now it comes left to Myler. Myler puts the kick in. Chased by Atkins. Briscoe on his home debut will get there. Carries it out of play. Drop out underneath the sticks. But with only 17 seconds to play, I suspect they might not get there before the hooters sound. Oh, the referee has stopped the clock. He has stopped the clock with 11 seconds left. So there is still time for 1 more Warrington effort here.
I think we've just got 1 player left. Warrington there, running hard, fast play the balls. Alvis should have done earlier on in the game. Obviously Leeds are fatigued now from all the defence that they've done, but Warrington needs to start the game a little bit better.
Here we go, 6 seconds left to play. This is it, last play of the game. Ratchford throws it left. Myler now puts the kick downfield, but Leeds knew that was coming, so they had the numbers back, and Hardacre collects it off the bounce and kicks it out of play. And that will be the full-time hooter. And Leeds have hung on in the end to win it by 18 points to 12. It was a night when Warrington's performance possibly didn't deserve anything more than the defeat they got, but their efforts in that last few moments suggested they might have stolen a point. A grandstand finish again. We're only 3 weeks into Super League and we've had plenty of grandstand finishes already, but Leeds hang on, and I suppose over the balance of the 80 minutes, Keith Seeley, you have to say they deserve the 2 points.